Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
This may be hard to believe, but the last time Michigan State and Akron played in football, the year was 1914. The Spartans won the game 75-6, and it wasn't even MSU back then. It was known as Michigan Agricultural College, and it's where we begin our one-on-one chat this week with head coach Mel Tucker. Well, this is the second straight week that you will be hosting a Mid-American Conference team, but the only difference from Western Michigan to Akron is the fact that you haven't played the Zips since 1914. Did you know that piece of history?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's quite a stretch between games there.
That's a long time not to play a program. So what can you say about the significance maybe of, even though it is a Mid-American Conference team, the importance of playing a team like Akron?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm from Ohio, and so, you know, I was actually recruited by Akron when I was in high school, and so I have a lot of respect for that program. They've always had really good players there, and football is important in the state of Ohio. For us to host them here, you know, is another opportunity for us to put our best foot forward in front of our fans.
Do you know of a significant event that happened in 1914 in Cleveland?
I'm not sure. Is that when the river caught on fire? I'm not sure. Maybe you can enlighten me.
The first traffic signal was put up in Cleveland, Ohio, on Euclid Avenue.
I was there. I was there when that happened. No, I can believe that. I can believe the first traffic signal, and I'm not sure what to do with that information, but I'm proud of my hometown, so the first for something.
What else did you enjoy then about growing up in Cleveland, Ohio?
I never made a conscious decision to play football, and I don't think too many young boys at that time really made a conscious choice. It was just automatic that you were going to play ball, and that's one thing I loved about growing up in Cleveland, growing up in Ohio, that football was such a big part of our culture, with the Browns, being there. I can remember going to games with my dad in the dog pound before it was a dog pound in Old Municipal Stadium, actually catching the bus to games, even going down there without having a ticket and waiting outside to grab tickets and things like that.
How will you emphasize that, or maybe try to bring some of the personal side into it this week with your team, obviously to make that connection and correlation of how important it is to win this game, not only because you want to defend the woodshed, but this is a team that's very close to your hometown?
First of all, the MAC is a strong conference, and I coached. My dad played at Toledo. He played in the MAC, so I've always known about the MAC since I was a baby. I coached at Miami of Ohio. We prided ourselves on tomahawk victories. We went to Northwestern that year and beat them at Northwestern. That's what MAC teams. They have a tremendous amount of pride. And they have a lot of good football players. And they expect to win. One
of the biggest things about your team going forward for this week is the fact that you are not going to have Darius Snow or Xavier Henderson. You mentioned in your press conference that you told Darius that, to remember that I told you this, don't let anyone tell you what you can and you cannot do.
Right.
How did that resonate with him in that moment when, you shared that advice with him after a season-ending injury?
He just listened and nodded, during at that time, as a player, when you don't know exactly the full extent of the injury, but it's not good. I mean, it's just a very tough time. I mean, I think we've all been in that position or seen someone in that position. It's just, there's a lot going through your head. And so, for me, it's just important for me to show him, the support.
Last year, you mentioned how you liked the team that you had. You thought there was a lot of pieces that could make it special to have a special year. It's already week 2 and you just came forward and mentioned how you love this team, you adore this team. Go into a little bit more specifics as to why so quickly into the season you're already, letting people in on that.
The leadership is way beyond what it was at any point last season. When I got to the locker room, I'm usually the last one in the locker room. I let all the players go in, get them in there, and then before I address them, we go and we say the Lord's Prayer, and then I address them. Then if we win, we do the fight song, and that's it. And before I could even get to those guys to call them up, Peyton and some of the older guys already had a team up in the locker room telling them, hey, we won the game. Yes, that, good for that. It's hard to win games, but it wasn't good enough. It wasn't up to the standard, and that wouldn't have happened a year ago. That wouldn't have happened. Guys might have been thinking that, but they would have waited for me to come in and tell them that. And that's why I love this team, because, we're not living in some type of suspended state of animation and, not being real with ourselves and on a day-to-day basis. And we're not sugarcoating anything. We're beyond, our feelings. It's all about the standard. And we're beyond being offended when we're being coached up or when we're being told the truth. And so that's what gives this particular team a chance to be successful.
Well, good luck this weekend, and as always, appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Go Green.
The Spartans kick off against the Zips at 4 o'clock on Saturday and will, of course, look to extend their 7-game home winning streak dating back to last season. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show. Have a happy and healthy weekend.
Are you thinking about switching financial institutions or opening a new account? Make the change to MSU Federal Credit Union today. MSU FCU focuses on our members and the community, offering free checking, free financial education, low loan rates, and cashback credit cards. Plus, accessing your account is easy with our mobile app, at a branch, or by visiting one of over 5,000 shared branches across the country. Make the change today. MSU FCU, building dreams together.